Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to.
Why millionaires are moving to Italy.
This is what it's all about. Lake view, nature,
Are they
silence,
doing the
peace,
1 penny
real Lake Como vibes.
move-in
Italy,
special?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
a longtime favorite of the
Not
rich
one
and
penny,
famous,
1 euro.
from Roman emperors to Hollywood stars.
You have the seaside, you have the mountains, you have the Alps, the wine, the food. I mean, all of these.
But now, a new wave of the uber wealthy is relocating to the European country, looking to take advantage of its investor-friendly environment, thriving real estate market, and low-tax regime.
Italy is set to welcome an estimated 3,600 high net worth individuals to the country, and this will have huge economic implications, with estimates suggesting they could bring with them $21 billion in private capital.
Although this kind of data is notoriously difficult to track, investment migration consultancy Henley and Partners estimates that in just 3 years, Italy has climbed the global
But I
rank.
think it's worth to distinguish bringing investment and bringing them to reside there. Because if they're bringing them to, if they're coming in to reside, it's different than them bringing investment as to starting businesses in Italy and, like developing countries. Because these are two different things. If they're just coming there to retire and live in a, somewhere on the beach, yeah, it's gonna help benefit the country. Yeah, sure, but that number, whatever, 42 billion, 24 billion, whatever the number was, that's not investment. That's just they have that money, but so what? They already paid the tax on it, so they're not gonna pay tax on it again. So what's that going? Yeah, they're gonna spend some money in the country, sure, but it's
The home, they pay property tax.
yeah, a little bit, yeah, but that number sounds a lot, but it doesn't do a lot for the country. That's what I'm saying.
Rankings as a top destination for the wealthy, rising from number 11 in 2023 to 6 in 2024, and now third in 2025, overtaking longtime favorites like Singapore, Australia,
I
and
wonder
Switzerland.
for the wealthy if it takes long to set up the internet. That's a good question.
Yeah,
Because
so
I feel like I would be, as a millionaire, I would be like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, if I'm a millionaire and I have to wait 3 months to get internet, I'm leaving this country. Yeah, it's.
Point of that is that there's a flat rate tax.
As many countries clamp down on the super rich, Italy has emerged as the top relocation destination in Europe. And that's impacting everything from the business landscape to the housing market. So why is Italy attracting so many millionaires and billionaires? And could other countries follow its lead?
Italy's centre-left government back in 2017 introduced a new €100,000 flat tax regime to entice wealthy individuals, investors and entrepreneurs to move to the country. Now, this was in something of a heyday of citizenship by investment schemes, with the likes of Portugal and Switzerland also looking for new ways to attract the ultra-wealthy.
In 2024, the government doubled its flat tax to €200,000 for new arrivals, after public criticism over the scheme, with Economy Minister Giancarlo Giorgetti saying he didn't want Italy to be in a race to offer fiscal favors.
So how does this work? If you make like a ton of money, your tax is capped at 200,000. So like if I make $1 billion and I only pay tax on it 200,000, I'm confused. What is the flat tax?
To the rich. Despite this, the country remains a magnet for those who would be taxed far more heavily elsewhere.
They operate at a wealth level which is still way above 200,000 per year flat taxation. So it's like saying, oh, you're paying your coffee now. Today is €2. Tomorrow is going to be €4. You're not going to give up on your coffee.
The doubling of the flat tax did little to suppress demand, but it did double government coffers.
The people that are coming to us are telling us that the main driving force behind the relocation is inevitably tax.
Millionaires have been migrating in droves to new residences. Over the past 10 years, the number of high net worth individuals relocating abroad has almost tripled, reaching record highs in 2024. And the trend is set to continue in 2025 and 2026.
Many other countries have been clamping down on the uber wealthy in an attempt to combat perceived inequality and also boost stretched public budgets. So, for instance, in France, they have been deliberating expanding the wealth tax. In Switzerland, for example, they're also
I heard
weighing introducing
France collapse.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's
changes to inheritance tax. But perhaps the biggest change came in April 2025 under the UK's Labour government, when they abolished their 200-year-old non-dom tax regime.
Until recently, a UK resident with a permanent tax home abroad only had to pay UK tax on money earned in the country, meaning money made elsewhere in the world was untaxed by the British government for up to 15 years. That's now been replaced by a new residency scheme, which the government says will generate £12.7 billion over the next 5 years.
Critics have questioned that, and they have said that these outflows of wealth are going to impact the UK's economy and also suppress that all-important investment and high spending.
There are countries literally around the world who are coming to us and saying, we want the UK's millionaires and billionaires. What can we do? How can we bring them to our country?
More countries are now offering citizenship and residence by investment programs. Between 1980 and 2022, the number of CBI and RBI schemes has seen a fourfold increase, led by Caribbean countries like Grenada and Antigua, as well as Malta and Turkey.
When your kid is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it.
Residence by investment is essentially a legal process by which countries will grant residence to foreign individuals in exchange for financial contributions. So that might be tax payments, it might be real estate purchases, or other investments.
The programs that we offer range from a few thousand up to $8-9 million. We've dealt with Americans, we've dealt with Brits, we've dealt with Middle Easterns. The last statistic we saw that we had inquiries from
So do they no longer pay tax in their home
Italy
country?
introduced its flat tax system as part of a bigger push to attract foreign.
Well, with Americans, there's the whole tax treaty, so I think I don't know exactly. I can't. It's a whole tax treaty, but I don't know about other countries. I'm not sure.
investors. It was also hoping to encourage homegrown talent and their money to return to the country, especially after the economic challenges of the European debt crisis.
So Italy's flat tax regime will exempt individuals from their foreign income and gains and overseas, and they'll only be subject to pay Italian tax on locally earned income. Now, part of the beauty of Italy's
Oh, okay. So like that's my example with billionaires is if they have businesses in America, let's say, or like wherever they don't pay any tax in Italy because the money's made in the States.
But they still pay taxes in the States.
Yeah, but also I'm confused. How does Italy really benefit from this then if they don't get any tax money? I don't know if this whole attraction of the billionaires is really beneficial for Italy. I think on paper it sounds good because it inflates the numbers a lot, but in reality, I just don't think the regular people gonna be affected, like positively impacted by that. Like I don't think that it's not like they're gonna create more jobs. They're not gonna, the taxes they pay is not gonna be that significant because they're not gonna make money in Italy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this really benefits the regular people of Italy.
Is its simplicity. Unlike in other countries where they're expected to meet other stringent requirements, other investment requirements, this is just a one-off annual fee. You just need to move your tax domicile to Italy, which is easy enough for EU residents.
Anna Cipriani was among those incentivized to return to Italy.
My great-grandfather, Giuseppe Cipriani, opened the doors of Harry's Bar, which also became
I guess
the
they
famous
just
place
want
because it's
people
where he created also the Bellini cocktail.
to kind of like, take space, use the day-to-day services to keep the government and society functioning in Italy. Maybe they have a dying population. They want people to have their kids there, retire there.
Maybe.
And the carpaccio dish.
Harry's Bar was originally founded in Venice in 1931, but over nearly a century, the business expanded into a global hotel and leisure group with a larger footprint outside Italy than within it. Anna Cipriani had been living in the US to oversee the launch of its Casa Cipriani Members Club in New York. But in 2022, the group chose to return to Italy for its next destination, creating a hub for business people and entrepreneurs in Milan.
We wanted to build a place where a person could spend their full day. So we have the entertainment spaces, the restaurants, the spa and wellness facilities, the gym for the workout. We really thought it was the good time to come back to Italy. Milan did evolve a lot over the years. Before, it used to be known more for its industrial character and, of course, the fashion houses. While over the last few years, it became more attractive also for creatives, for investors, and for international crowd. And then, of course, we had the tax incentives.
Since 2016, Italy has adopted investment-friendly policies through its Industria 4.0 plan, later renamed Transition 5.0, a framework designed to encourage businesses to invest in key sectors like digital and green infrastructure in exchange for tax credits and depreciation incentives.
They are moving to town, but they're also investing, not only in Milan, in Italy in general.
So, what are the most popular destinations for the wealthy in Italy? Sought-after regions include Tuscany and the Italian Riviera. Cities like Rome, Venice, Florence, and Bologna are also popular. And unsurprisingly, Milan remains a favorite amongst millionaires
on
and
the north
billionaires
side.
due to its role as Italy's financial
Yeah,
hub
because the
and
south is poorer, so they don't want to go there.
close links to Lake Como.
Which kind of defeats the purpose, because the south is who needs the money more, I would
Lake
think.
Como started back in the early 2000s when Las Vegas opened up the Bellagio Hotel. It's being inspired by this tiny village. We are at all-time high prices at the moment. In 5 years, we had an increase in double-digit percentage, while for the upcoming years, we're probably going to look at a steady 3 to 4% type of increase here in Lake Como.
And less than an hour away, Milan's real estate is experiencing its own surge. Property prices in Milan have risen
That's not good for
49%
regular people
since the
either.
flat tax was introduced in 2017, compared to 10.9% across the rest of Italy's big cities, according to real estate group Tecnocasa. And global property consultancy Knight Frank expects the city's prime real estate market to record a further 3.5% price growth in 2025.
It's about those who can afford, even because prices are not necessarily done to a strict market logic as an investment. They like a property with their guts. Then they do a little bit of math, of course, but they're ready to spend and sometimes to overspend just to secure a one-of-a-kind view or a one-of-a-kind position. When Italy came out with a 100,000 flat tax opportunity, people began considering even more Italy as a logic B plan for their relocation or asset protection or tax optimization process.
So how is this wealth impacting local life? While luxury lifestyles can sometimes seem removed from the everyday, Jeff Bezos' wedding in Venice, for example, is estimated to have added $1.1 billion to the city's economy.
The increased activity in finance, private equity, hospitality,
Now
other
that
services have, of course,
that definitely benefited the economy because you have to hire people, everything. That definitely did. I didn't realize that as much of €1 billion. It's crazy.
created local jobs. But then there's been the impact on housing prices, which has priced out many locals, particularly as wages have struggled to keep up. That, of course, adds to existing wealth inequalities, and there's particular concern that much of the wealth is concentrated in specific areas and it doesn't filter down around the rest of the country.
It's kind of a wheel, that keeps rolling. So
It's
you
crazy,
have all
the
these people moving
side-by-side
in,
photo
and you have all this hotel
comparison.
opening, and
The what?
The side-by-side photo comparison where it would look really, really nice, and the parts that don't receive any of the funding or the money to make it
Where?
look better.
Here was a picture.
Yeah, there was
Concern
like
that
two
much of the
pictures
wealth
that
is
was
concentrated in specific areas and it doesn't filter
This
down
is-
around the rest of the
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, the picture on the right. I didn't even think it didn't look that bad to me. It looks like a regular neighborhood.
No,
it's
it's not
kind
the
of
same.
a wheel, that keeps rolling. So you have all these people moving in, and you have all this hotel opening, and you have more and more people that then decide to come to town because now they think about it more. It's also proven that when you have a lot of investments into a city, it does boost the economy, creates more job opportunities also for the people.
We are seeing other countries considering similar schemes. Greece back in 2019 introduced its own €100,000 flat tax regime, but it also requires an additional €500,000 investment as well in property or
That makes
legacy,
more
etc.
sense.
Even in the UK,
Now, Greek's law makes more sense that require investment. Without investment, just to come, those people, to me, I don't really see much benefit. Like, I don't know. I don't see much benefit to
are
that.
also pushing for a similar Italian-style flat tax regime, but it does, of course, raise concerns about this kind of race to the bottom.
The only benefit you can have is you can sit and brag, oh, Italians have a lot of billionaires. We're on the list of most billionaires in the world. It was like,
Of the tax base.
However, it's important to note that rich people moving to Italy under this regime are under no obligation to invest in the country,
Yeah.
a move that the Italian Court of Auditors has warned could turn Italy into a tax haven.
Receipts from Italy's flat tax regime have brought in hundreds of millions of euros. But
But
while helpful,
that
this really
seems to
is just a
be
drop
their
in the ocean.
interest. Like, there's places that, they're tax havens for millionaires and billionaires, and that's just the way it is.
yes, I understand. I'm just
I
thinking.
think if they want to keep that population high, is to keep like the north, looking like the north.
I'm just thinking from regular people perspective, everyday Joes and Janes. I don't really think this benefits them in any way.
For me, how I can see it is that if at some point in the scale, you're gonna price out the locals, so you're gonna
what I'm
have
saying.
more millionaires per capita.
And where's the local Italians gonna be?
They're gonna move to the south and probably take their money, take their business to the south.
You really think that people that generations, 6, 7 generations live there, they
gonna
want to
be
move to the
priced-
south?
They're gonna be priced out.
No, they're gonna riot.
Oh, yeah,
They're not getting
yeah.
priced out. Their families been in those towns for 7, 8, 9 generations. They are not moving nowhere else. That's not how this works. Here in the States is a little different because generations people have not stayed here. Back in Europe, you're not getting priced out.
Because I was thinking, okay, that's when gentrification starts happening, So then they're gonna gentrify.
They will try, but it's not gonna happen.
Versus Italy's deficit and public debt. For as long as it does stay more attractive than some other countries' regimes, Italy does look like it will continue to attract a small but lucrative cohort of the wealthy.
Yeah, I don't know. The title seems like it's a good thing. Why millionaires are moving to, like, it's a great thing, but to me, I don't
Let's go to the comments.
I don't think that's a good thing for Italy.
But it seems like the population is really decreasing. They want people there by all means.
Almost all the highly educated talents I know under 35 have left, citing limited career progression opportunities and high living costs. Why can't they focus on making life sustainable for the young professionals whose education is subsidized instead of importing billionaire vulture capitalists who have zero commitments to the place? That's what I said. What an irony. Welcomes the rich foreigners while the natives are forced to emigrate. Yeah.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Zoe. Share as much kindness as possible.